All hands, hoist the colors high. Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die.
Welcome aboard the Black Pearl.
Ahoy, Buccaneer, Buckaholics, and Scallywags. The Plunder is live. We're here today, and we'll be breaking down the Week 4 matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles, as well as go over our Plunder Power 10. We'll also discuss why or why not a certain player on the trade block should or shouldn't come to Tampa Bay. There's been a lot of talk about that. We'll also get to the meat of the matter in Week 5's matchup that happens tonight, just in less than an hour or so. There's going to be kickoff between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. And Kirk Cousins will lead the Falcons tonight. Unfortunately for him, the Failcunts. Let me correct myself. I didn't actually get to edit my script, but it's the Failcunts. The Atlanta Failcunts. That's what we're going with, right?
Yes, sir.
The Failcunts. So check it out. Let me introduce myself. I'm Derek ManicBuc Stevens. I am the founder of the Plunder, and the other gentleman you saw and will see throughout the show right there is BucDad. He's my producer and co-host. We also co-host the weekly episodic WWE main focused show called The Heel Turn. How you been, brother? How's your week?
Man, it's been a long week. I ain't gonna lie.
Coming back to work, it's just been stressful.
Going back to work, dealing with that, the hurricane recovery for everybody, and then man, bro, like boom, football's ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and for us,
I forgot we played tonight. I'm not even going front.
Yeah, it's been a really hectic week. I can say that again, we faced a little bit of damage in our area. You know, I wasn't affected personally by this storm. I also was affected by Hurricane Michael, but my hometown was completely destroyed. My wife's sister, I think they just got power today, or they might get it tomorrow. And the storm happened, a week ago. So you're talking a week without power. There's been so much tragedy that we've seen. So thoughts and prayers go out to all affected. And listen, just to throw it out there, this is a recently breaking news. If you haven't heard, Baker Mayfield and his wife have partnered with Kirk Cousins and his wife to donate $1 million to the relief fund for Hurricane Helene. That is well needed. And anybody out there, please contact your Red Cross. Please contact your Salvation Army and try to see if you can get some of these items, with people. WDAE did a drive earlier this week and raised a lot of food. So anything can help, guys. But moving on back to the show. As I said, tonight is week 4 of the week 5 of the season against the Falcons. But what we're going to go on first is the week 4 game against the Philadelphia Eagles. And a lot of talk came into that game on both sides where the Buccaneers going to bounce back because we had a horrific showing in week 3. And after last week's daunting victory against the Philadelphia Eagles, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers started off red hot. When I say red hot, man, let me tell you what, red hot was red hot. I mean red hot. In 23 games, the Buccaneers, in 23 games, bro, 23 games, the Buccaneers have not scored a touchdown on their opening drive. This past Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles, they not only did it once, but they did it twice. They scored the first 3 out of the 4 drives that they had, which was huge for the outcome of the game. But let me say this, that beginning quarter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to be a turning point for this offense. I believe that offense looked like it is never looked with Baker or Tom under the reins. I'm sorry. I can't say it. Baker was on fire in another MVP type caliber play. Go ahead.
Bro, I mean, like, you gotta think, man, that the way we looked against Denver the week before, and then the way we came out playing last week. I said it on the pregame show, and then I even said it Thursday on the Plunder. This right here, that game,
right?
We were gonna see how we react to a loss. And bro, we came out looking real good. I'm not gonna front about that. But I want to see, do we got consistency with it, because we got a matchup.
Yeah.
Not really gonna sit here and pretend that the Falcons or Failcunts are something to look down on. They're showing that they might be the top of the dumpster fire. Not number one in the NFC South, but they are the very top of that part of the dumpster fire.
You know, for me,
Shed's right, bro. Right now, the biggest takeaway we need to talk about too is, one, that offensive line's right side is still a fucking problem, and we got drop the balls, bro.
That's a really sketchy portion of our team. The offense has not showed that they can really protect the run game more so. They did a really decent job last week against the pass rush. But I believe the Philadelphia Eagles pass rush is come from the center of their line. I believe the center of their line. That being said, what's his name? Brandon Graham. He's an edge guy, but at the same time, you know, he's over the hill. I mean, but at the same time, look, let me shut up. Brandon Graham was the one that actually sacked Baker Mayfield, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But the offensive line.
Hey, but every dog has a day.
You're right, and like, I will say this much: having Luke Goedeke has been a really insightful thing, because we heard what happened last season as far as Goedeke's concerned and the question marks we still had on him. But moving to the outside and moving over to that portion of the line on the edge, outside at right tackle, you know, that the confidence was there. I watched a few interviews with him. You could see like he felt like he was, you know, he looked like a pro ball player. You know, he didn't look in any of those interviews like a guy that didn't know what he was doing. So when we come out in preseason, we saw a lot more of the offensive line than we did of anybody else, you know, as far as the starting, you know, because we were still trying to work out the kinks, figure out who's going to work where.
Well, hey, I was going to hang on real quick. When we're talking Graham Barton is equaling Cody Mock at this moment. Because I'd absolutely love to hear your take on that, bro. You message me. I'll send you a link. You can come on and come holler at us with that. I absolutely want to hear this take, because maybe there's something I'm missing in his play. Granted, I haven't been paying that much attention, but maybe can point some shit out for us.
Yeah. If you got a minute, step on the show. Let's hear your perspective on the Cody Mock equals the center thing, because that's a really interesting take, man. Because from my opinion, we've had a lot of pressure up the middle. There's no question about it. Our pressure on our offensive line has come from everywhere. But I'm also not as quick to in week. Now the next 2 weeks, I want to see shit come together, because by week 6, everybody should be on the same page as far as what the Bucs are wanting to do. You know, there's no question about it. You know, for me, I can't help but think that the youth is playing a role in Graham Barton's situation, and I'll probably try to go look a little bit closer now that he said that, and do my own research on that, because I haven't really broken down the offensive line yet.
I'm gonna say Sed's got the link, so as soon as he pops up, bro, I'm bringing him on. But I definitely want to hear that. I want to hear his input on it, because, again, Is it the lack of experience?
Yeah.
Or or is there something that maybe I'm missing? You know,
Right. And maybe it's
that
that
being said,
responsibility that comes along with being a center. You know, like the center is the quarterback of the offensive line, and he's probably, if not the smartest, the second smartest player on the team. And he should be.
and I was gonna say, because I'm questioning the question or the whole thing, because if you're talking, he's Cody Mock already, bro. Cody Mock sucks. I'm not defending that shit. I said it last year that he's having issues, bro, and this year he's having issues.
Yeah. The interior of our line is really taking a hit this year, and I'm very disappointed at how it started off. But again, I am with the way that preseason goes now. I'm trying to wait until week 5. I mean, this is where I feel like teams should really start to look as smooth as they expect to be.
Yeah.
You know, now with Graham Barton, we also still have to back off a few minutes and give the guy a little bit of time to develop that growth maturity, and that leadership maturity as far as leading the offensive line, being able to call the adjustments. Because to be honest with you, a lot of those sacks that Baker's had have come from bad adjustments or not adjusting. And when Graham Barton doesn't make those adjustments, it's also Baker's choice to hike that ball instead of making the adjustment at the line or calling a timeout. So
here we go.
That's what's up. Look at the background picture. I like it.
I like the logo, my man.
I like it. How you doing, Sid?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, so
What
man, what are we going with the center equals Cody Mock?
I wasn't talking about making a nigga the center. What I was referring to was the pressure coming from the center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're talking the center or the center of the line?
Center of the line.
Yeah.
Okay. So we both agree on that.
I can get that.
Yeah, Cody Mock, Graham Barton, and Bredesen. They're not working well together at all.
Cody Mock is a fucking bum.
Yep. I'm all for that.
I was high on this guy and I defended him last year, but through these 4 games, he's been on the back of his heels 60% of the fucking time.
Absolutely.
I'm done.
Again, I haven't taken the time. I mean, you know what I'm going through personally. It's been everything I've had been able to do just to keep up with the show and the content. But that being said, I haven't had the time to really break down the offensive line at all. Because there's actually been a lot of other areas that we can focus on as far as the team and what goes forward. But this is the part of the season where we can't have these problems on the offensive line.
Hey, Derek, I'm gonna get it to you like this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you got access to all 22?
Yeah.
That is a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you're alluding to, bro. Go. I'm gonna go look at it later on.
Whew.
Yeah.
But no, knowing what you're talking about, though, said what you're alluding to, you are right, bro. A lot of that pressure is right up that gut.
Which is also the right side of the line. I mean, we all understand that we have a rookie at right tackle. So we know that these things were going to happen. But Mark, this is your second year.
Hold up. Justin Fields.
You mean center. He means center. He means center.
Yeah,
rookie at center.
I was going to say, I thought Justin Skill's been in for a couple years.
Ain't Justin School a rookie too?
No. He's been on, I think it's his 3rd year. Year 3.
Oh, yeah, I think he was one of those bums that we picked up when we got Trask that year.
So he's 6 feet under.
Oh yeah, bro. That's why I've been dog.
He started the team on the practice squad, and last year midseason he made it when Cody Mock. I think Cody Mock got hurt the first time. He made it.
We had that rash of injuries, Cody Mock and all that. But see, here's my thing. I know we moved Tristan to the left for a reason. But, bro, there's got to be a right tackle out there worth a fuck.
There's a couple of them free agents.
Wait for him.
Oh, my gosh. Man.
You want to get him like that? Come on. You know Sed's Fish had to respond to that.
Oh, my gosh, man. This shit terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Do you think, let me ask you this, Sid, do you think a lot of the problems, and we've seen it from both running backs, the only issue I have with Rachaad White is for some reason, and maybe it's because of the more elusive ability of Bucky Irving, but Bucky's finding the holes to make runs and Rashaad's not. And I say that because you look at the yards per carry. You don't look at how many yards he ends up with the game or how many yards per carry. What's he getting? Bucky Irving's getting over 4. He's, I think 4.5. Now, the last game against Philadelphia, Rachaad White had 4 yards a carry, either 4 or just over 4.1 or something like that. But he did well but he didn't have a ton of carries. That being said, look at the number of carries we're getting. We're not pushing that ball down the field through the run game at all. And it's affecting, I think, our offense totally. I say that, and then looking back in the last week, Baker Mayfield threw for 347 yards, and it seemed like in the first quarter they didn't run the ball not fucking one.
Point blank period, Derek. They don't have the lineman capable of running the zone run scheme. We don't.
That's why I was talking about.
That's a really good take. That's a really good take. Because if you know what the zone run is, then you can. Yeah, I mean, if you know what the zone run is, that zone run is where you snap the ball. You're not going to have those immediate holes. Those running backs have to be patient, and the holes have to develop. But the only way they're going to develop is A, the quarterback or the center makes the adjustments on the line for the blocking, and then B, you beat your guy off the ball. Those two things have to happen. You know,
and I believe we're not beating our guy off the ball.
All 22 is a beautiful thing because all those things that you said that the quarterback needs to do, Baker is doing that.
Yes.
We don't have a line to run this scheme.
You're right.
Blank. So there is
I agree with that. I agree with that take. I mean, it's not a hot take either.
We don't.
Not a hot take whatsoever.
Now, honestly, as far as Baker Mayfield, we're not getting that's why we don't get the recognition. We have a decent offense if you took away the offensive line. But if you take away that offensive line, we ain't got a fucking offense.
Yeah. Well,
this group that we have is an above average pass blocking team.
Yeah.
Above average. When it comes to the zone run scheme that Cohen and the Shanahan offense,
yeah. Well, let me ask you, since I got you right here, what's your take on Bucky Irving versus Rachaad White right now? As far as starting and getting the majority of the touches. Because I know how big of a supporter. You and me are probably on the same level as far as the support for Rachaad White, but he's really struggled this year. And I'm curious if maybe that groin injury that he had, in week 3, is something that he's also been dealing with.
Man,
it's a tough conversation to have.
like my main homeboy that I talked to on Twitter, Fletch, he's broken on this subject too. And I can't give you a definite answer right now. I can't, because how can I grade it when we haven't had a good running offense since Shiano?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I can't say Shiano because Doug gave us two. Doug
gave us bro, we really haven't, because Doug Martin, like you were about to say, I'm sure, only gave us really 2 years.
Yeah, he only had 2 years where he had over 1,000 yards. And one was with Shiano and the other one was with Lovey, I think?
Yeah.
Lovey. Yep.
10 years? So,
but we haven't had a consistent run game since we got rid of Garrett Blunt.
And why I allude to that is because these two remind me of Doug Martin and Charles Sims.
Okay.
Yes.
And I was torn between those two because it will be one game that Doug didn't go off, but Charles Sims did. So I'm torn. I can't answer your question. I can't.
That's fair, bro. It's completely fair, to be honest with you, because I'm looking at it from the most simple perspective right now, and that's a generic answer, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of things, like you just mentioned. The offensive, you have to have some accountability, but you cannot blame Rachaad White completely, the same as you can't blame Bucky Irving or Cam Jordan, or excuse me, Cam Johnson or Chris Godwin when we use these gadget run plays with wide receivers that don't get the holes and be able to have those lanes open to be able to hit the lanes. Now, what I will say, Bucky Irving is probably 40% more explosive than Rachaad White, which is why I brought up the groin injury.
Hey, listen, because Rachaad White, fucking, as soon as he sees the hole, he's dancing at that motherfucker before he goes to it.
Yeah, I've seen him do a lot of that.
He takes his 2 steps that motherfucker before he goes north and south.
Dude, when Bucky Irving gets the ball and you see a hole and he sees the hole, holy shit, it's like a cannonball.
And I'm not gonna lie, you blink and that cat is through it.
Yes. And you remember Jacquizz Rodgers, right?
Yes.
Jacquizz Rodgers and Barry.
That big head ass nigga.
Yeah. Jacquizz Rodgers. If Jacquizz Rodgers and Barry Sanders had a baby, I think it would be Bucky Irving. He's the feel I get.
Derek,
Bucky has. Huh?
I have not seen no kind of twitch that Barry had at Bucky. Hell no.
No. No, that's dog. Barry Sanders is a different breed. If there's anything close, and I could be wrong on this comparison, but if there's anything close to Barry, it would have been CG. It would have been Chris Johnson. And my opinion.
But
I don't even think. Well, to me, Chris Johnson, he was a more up and down, Garrett, up. Go ahead.
I'll say this. I don't think Rachaad can run through, run up the run between the
the tackles.
No, yeah, but I can't. I don't think he can no more.
Right.
I think Bucky Irving can.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
And I can buy that, But again, going back to what my response to what you said about the answer to the question was, the only reason I am even leaning towards Bucky Irving is because he is getting the yards and Rachaad's not. But also, again, he had that week 3 injury that pulled him out of the game. He ended up coming back, but maybe the groin is something he's been dealing with the whole season, maybe since game 1.
Now, like I said last week, and even on
we had a Sean Tucker signing last week. Damn it!
I know, and that was good. But here's my thing with it, and I even said it: we don't need a number 1 back like that, bro.
No,
like said, bro. Like back in the day when we had Doug and we had Charles Sims, it's all right if one goes off and the other doesn't. I just want a consistent ass offense, bro, that can put up to 30 points a game.
And that is wisdom, right there.
I don't want to be 35th in the league in rushing. Like,
yeah, he said that right, 35th.
I want a consistent, balanced team. I like what we're seeing so far. I don't see really a need to change shit, bro, and swap it up. This is making it sound like 2019, bro, when we're winning the game here with Winston and then losing 2 straight and then winning 2. Like, I feel like we're sounding like back in the day with this shit.
Right. Well, I think what we saw last week was a good formula. We didn't run the ball a lot. I think we need to get the ball on the ground a little more. I'm personally looking at 25 to 30 touches on the ground is what we should be running. But maybe Liam Cohen is actually adjusting because the offense is really that bad and the run game isn't that good. Maybe he's game planning that way.
That's exactly why. If you watched the game, you watched it, right? The first 20 plays, he only ran 3 run plays.
3 run plays. Yep.
17,
like they're saying,
that's an insane ratio.
But listen,
what up?
17 plays were passes. Each one of those passes, the ball was out of Baker's hand in under 2.5 seconds.
Yep.
Yes. He had the fastest average time getting rid of the ball last week.
That was the difference because he knew Philly had a hellacious pass rush. And I think he should do the same against Atlanta tonight in 30 minutes.
I agree. Well, going ahead and closing out the conversation on the Philadelphia Eagles, Baker Mayfield had an MVP performance. He threw for 347 yards, 2 passing TDs, and he actually ran a touchdown in. We cannot leave the conversation without mentioning the rookie. Speaking, the aforementioned rookie Bucky Irving actually scored his first touchdown of his career. And let me speak loud and clear, unfortunately, and I'll mention it more about it later because he's out with a concussion, Trey Palmer. The fucking catch Trey Palmer had for the touchdown was an immaculate throw and an immaculate fucking catch. Holy crap. Baker threw a bullet right over the middle. And I think it was Tom Brady, the commentary, actually made the comment that was a Mike Evans throw, that inside route post from the right side. And he just threw that laser and Trey Palmer snatched it up. But the resiliency from Tampa to be able to come out of that week 3 drumming and head above shoulders probably 10 times better than the week before. The defense held Jalen Hurts to an abysmal 18 of 30 for 158 yards. He took 6 sacks. We got 6 sacks last week. It's about damn time we were able to get that pressure. Now, that being said, there's a caveat. Lane Johnson, left tackle, was out for the Philadelphia Eagles. So in a game where Lavonte David actually surpassed 1,500 career tackles, joining one hell of an uncrowded room and Derek Brooks being the only 2 Buccaneer players to ever do it. Hashtag Havoc Crew. Let me make a comment about Lavonte David. He, in my opinion, in his play, if he continues to play the rest of this year like he was, I will put him in the same level as Derek Brooks. Career versus career. It's a debate and an argument that we could possibly have in the future, which one's better. But I believe Lavonte David is the same caliber player. Yeah, same caliber player as Derek Brooks. And Derek Brooks is my all-time favorite football player of all time. And that's what I believe, bro. Like, you can't change my mind. You can get me to respect your perception, but I just want you to know that about Lavonte David. I think he's probably I would probably have a good argument. I'd think about it, look at everything, and there you can almost make a good argument that he belongs on the Mount Rushmore of Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's my thought.
Okay,
but
let's move to pregame.
Huh?
Let's move to pregame.
Yeah. Well, John Spytek. John Spytek was actually given an interview earlier this week, and he made a comment about the resiliency of the Buccaneers and what was going to happen. We got beat the week before. It was so bad that we didn't even realize what was going on as fan base or in the.
For the record, Derek, we didn't lose to the Broncos. We lost to Sean Payton.
I could buy that.
Did you know?
We got outcoached. 100%.
Did you know? I know. Did you know that Sean Payton is 9-0 against Todd Bowles-led defenses, including when he was with the Jets?
Are you? Yep. I didn't know that stat.
Yes.
Did not know that stat.
He averages 23. He averages 23 points against that defense.
Oh.
Stat of the day. Knows how to cook against Todd Bowles, bro.
Stat of the day. He knows how to beat the blitz. That's what he knows.
Beat the blitz, bro. He knows how to beat the brakes off Todd Bowles.
No, he knows how to beat. He knows how to beat zone.
Well, I know.
And he knows how to beat. He knows how to beat zone when you have man corners playing zone.
Yep.
Carlton Davis.
Well,
hey,
just
shit,
to end on
Revis.
That part. Just to end on that the Philly game real quick, I want to bring up something. I'm wearing No Risk It, No Big Biscuit, Bruce Arians shirt. And this week I watched a interview with Jason Spytek, John Spytek of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Bucs Total Access. And he remembered a quote that he mentioned to the coach. The quote came from BA. The good teams don't lose 2 in a row. That resiliency and that bounce back coming into this week was fantastic. So as far as I'm concerned, that was a great way to show what kind of team they were compared to what they are compared to what they were. So now moving into the next section of the show, this is where BucDad comes in and runs his parlay or plank. So me and Sed will sit back and listen to the beautiful information about fantasy football from BucDad.
Yeah, we ain't doing fantasy this week. I'm kind of, with the way this week's been, we're doing a little bit different with parlay or plank.
Okay, fair enough.
Now,
fair enough.
Said, I did my picks this week, bro. I want to know how you feel.
Let's go.
All right. I got the Bucs over the Falcons.
Of course.
Vikings over the Jets.
Yep, the Jets defense is reeling. Aaron Rodgers looks like a 40-year-old man. Yep.
Ravens over the Bengals.
Division game, anything goes. Ravens.
Okay. Bears over the Panthers.
I don't know. Panthers have an upper echelon defense that's starting to click together, and they have a veteran quarterback. I'm gonna pick the
They
Panthers
do.
in that. I'm gonna put the Panthers in that game.
All right. All right.
Okay.
I got the 49ers over the Cardinals.
Division game. They got 3 of their 4 pieces back, San Fran, but the defense is like mid.
Yeah, that defense has been kind of backpedaling, it feels like.
They've
But
been mauled.
I'm gonna still go San Fran. Brock Purdy is a top 5 quarterback in the league right now.
Bro, you know what's crazy is that is a fact, and you would have never thought that shit 2 years ago.
Yep.
I got Packers over the Rams.
Yes. Jordan Love is gonna eat that horrible pass defense with the Rams got.
Absolutely. Man, and dog, LA's defense has definitely gone downhill pass rush wise since Aaron Donald ain't there.
Yep.
I got Seahawks rebounding and taking that dub over the Giants.
Obvious. Malik Neighbors is a beast, but that's not enough.
Yeah.
Damn sure not enough.
Hey,
but that
bro,
guy's
he's a beast in fantasy, but I think that's as far as it's going right now.
Yep.
I got Steelers beating Cowboys.
Where's this game at?
In Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that pick.
Yes.
And last but not least, topping it off on Monday, I got Kansas City beating the Taints.
Where is this at?
In Kansas City.
Oh, absolutely.
God damn it. I would have picked neither one of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I know. Hey, bro, it's like that when like last week when Atlanta and New Orleans played. I'm like, I hope both teams win.
No,
I hope both teams have fun.
Isn't that almost with Kansas City? You know, I almost like having 5 teams in our division. It's kind of shitty.
I mean, but they really can't talk shit to us anyway, so.
No.
Yeah.
Not to us, at least.
Yeah, hey, you might be going for a 3. You might be looking at a 3-peat and all that shit, but you know, guess who broke that little streak up for you?
I know, but I'm trying to get my feelings out of it and look at it logically. Like the Saints still have a above average defense, and Patrick Mahomes really only has maybe 2 weapons, Kelsey, and I still view Kareem Hunt as a serious weapon. I picked him up in fantasy. Worthy looked like he can do some damage. He just need to build that chemistry with Mahomes. Yeah, I'm gonna take Kansas City.
All right.
I mean,
and that tops it off this week.
Yeah.
I actually liked a lot of your picks. There was like one or two that I would have changed, but they weren't obvious picks. They were semantical. That was a good set of picks right there.
Yeah, my upset of the week is the Panthers.
The Panthers. I honestly, when you started talking about it, I like that. I just straight up, I like that.
You know what?
Well,
I might go toss in a separate bet on that just to see.
Just to see.
Just to see what that
Well,
throws back.
Because a lot of
now,
people,
this is.
I say, a
Go
lot
ahead.
of people forget that even though how bad Carolina was, look at the numbers. You may not have seen it with your eyes, but they were a top 5 defense last year.
Yeah, that they were. But I'm just thinking, with Brian Burns, being gone.
They really haven't taken. They maybe have taken maybe about a 15 step back, but they're still good. We're going to struggle with them. I know that.
Oh yeah,
Right.
right. I mean, we always struggle within the division, no matter what. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
But my bad. Go ahead. I'll mute.
You're good. You're good. I was listening to y'all talk. I ain't no rush.
I
So
was gonna say that's all I got.
I've got a new section of the show. Oh, I see Shawnee on TV up in Atlanta. Look at
Yeah,
Rome. Look
I
at
seen the
Rome.
takeover.
But one of the things that I'd like to start talking about is things that with branching off from pancakes and power bombs, our other show. You got some creative juices flowing when you brought out heel turn, and I want to bring something to this show that's kind of similar. I want to use some hot takes. There's the mayor. I want to use some hot takes in the league, and there's a lot of chatter going out. This new segment is going to be called "Hear Me Out." Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. And this week we're going to go over Davante Adams. The disgruntled wide receiver Davante Adams let the the Las Vegas Raiders organization know that he wants to be traded. There has been a sea of unrest with
Hey,
Adams.
there's Rome.
Huh?
Boogeyman on TV.
Yeah, I seen him. Um, ever since Aaron Rodgers left and he didn't get that contract the year before, he left and they didn't give him the contract because they were going to pay Aaron Rodgers. He's been really bitchy and whiny about his quarterback play, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. One of the things that I can say is he a talented wide receiver? Yeah. Can he go to almost any team and be a number one wide receiver? There's only about 6 or 7 teams that I would say he can't be the number one, because I believe there's about 6 or 7 players that are better than Davante Adams right now in this league. There's a lot of chatter in Buck Nation about him coming to fucking Tampa Bay. And right now, you look at it from the logical perspective, that's a outlandish dumb shit. Anybody that thinks that really is overthinking their life, in my opinion, because if you look at it from the general perspective, we got Mike Evans, we got Chris Godwin, we got 2 young studs that are really starting to come into their own. They haven't got a lot of the balls fed to them, but they've produced when they've had the balls fed to them. Then you also have a gadget player in Cam Johnson that really has shown spurts of being able to, perform. And then you bring up Sterling Shepard that we have on the roster now, which is, kind of clamoring with the fact that Trey Palmer and Jalen McMillan are out this week. And speaking of which, Jalen McMillan, Trey Palmer, Luke Goedeke, Kalijah Cansey. Shit, there was somebody else. Antoine Winfield Jr. They're out, plus a few inactives. That's not a huge deal. But the Davante Adams to Tampa Bay is just a bad idea when the O-line can use a potential depth player or starter. Need improvement one way or the other. And edge rushing and pass rushing needs improvement. Our wide receivers don't need improvement. Would he make a great addition? I mean, can you imagine Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Davante Adams? No. That would be a shitty ass locker room after the game, because Davante Adams has always been one to cry about his ball. So my take on Davante Adams is let him go be with Aaron Rodgers and let the Jets fall flat on their damn face like they've done for the last 30 freaking years. I mean, they did it a couple years. They didn't do it a couple years with Chad Pennington, but they weren't going to go far with him. Chad Pennington is the old-fashioned version, in my opinion, of Kirk Cousins. Now, that being said,
all right.
I don't have. What are your thoughts on Davante Adams? Huh?
All right. Time out. Before I do this, let me do something.
Yep.
All right. So, that being said, I agree with you on the Davante Adams. I would love to see him here, but at this moment and what we got going on, no, I'm cool without him. I'm good with you saying don't bring him in, but there's still that little bit of me that is like, damn, bro, that would be a good addition. That would be a good addition just to help, but I don't feel we're on that like Super Bowl run like we were with Brady. So there's no need to bring his ass in and add to that bullshit. It's like bringing in Antonio Brown. So I agree with you, but I will still disagree in a way, just because it's one of those type of receivers.
I respect that. I mean, and I can agree with that. I can agree with your view. Like, would it be cool to see those three guys in our pass game? Like, yeah, that would be fantastic, because I'm not taking any talent away from the guy. To me, he's just too dramatic about his shit, and that's for what we already have in that room, in that position room. I think we're great right now compared to what he would add versus what else we need. Now, the stat of the day. Can either one of you gentlemen or anybody out there watching the show or any that watches it after it's live answer this question? Who can name me the last quarterback, without going to Google real quick, that was a Heisman winner in college and won the Super Bowl?
Heisman winning quarterback that won the Super Bowl.
It's been a long fucking time since that's
I was about to say.
There's only two.
It's been a long fucking time. I want to say Joe Montana.
Not correct.
He won the Heisman, though, didn't he?
Yeah. No, he didn't win the Heisman. But it actually happened in the early 80s. Just to give you a time frame. I'll give you about 30 more seconds and I'll tell you the answer. Because when I researched it, I was like, holy shit.
That?
Not.
Hey, look, hold on. That's called being in the right church but sitting in the wrong pew, my man. He was the very first Heisman quarterback to win a Super Bowl. That was in the mid-70s. Earlier mid-70s.
Okay.
No, he won two. It was early 70s and he won the late 70s.
No. It's 70s. That's all I needed to know.
Fair enough. All right. The answer to that.
I found one.
That was good. Look, that was a really good look. That was good. The answer is Jim Plunkett.
And that bitch won two with the Raiders.
Yep.
Damn.
Jim Plunkett. And I say that to say this. I got our fucking team at 14-3. We're on pace to have the same schedule, the same record as of right now. I actually had us losing to Detroit.
I still think you're off the wall for a 14-3 prediction.
Perfect. I'm gonna hold on to that. Fair enough.
Derek.
Yeah.
Would you believe? I told a Kansas City Chiefs fan this, and I provided them the numbers to back it up.
Uh-huh.
Jim Plunkett is a better Super Bowl quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, holy shit!
That is, I mean, I don't even need to see the numbers. That's a fact.
In both Super Bowls that Jim Plunkett played, he has a combined QBR of 89.7. Guess what? I took Mahomes' two best performing Super Bowls, the past two. Guess what his QBR was?
68.
72.8.
Ugh. I mean, I had him for worse, but still, that's not good. That's not good at
Mid
all.
is shit.
Yeah,
Mid. Mid. This is who
no
y'all
doubt.
proclaim. This is who y'all proclaim the GOAT to be. Mid. But we can talk about that a different day.
Look, Sid,
Wait, hey,
no
wait.
matter what else you brought to
Time
this
out.
show tonight, go ahead.
Time out. Who the fuck? Who's proclaiming Mahomes to be a GOAT?
I'm sorry. I be
The
on Twitter.
national media,
I'm on
he's
Twitter,
today's
bro.
GOAT. They
Okay. No,
presumed him to
I
also
feel.
be the guy to take over for Tom Brady as far as statistics and all that shit
Yeah,
goes.
okay, yeah. Okay, I get where both y'all are coming for that. I haven't heard anybody with the GOAT, and I've been on Twitter, but I'm on the wrong Twitter than
Hey,
away
bro,
from
you
Sid.
you gotta follow me because I'll be at the Twitter Spaces. Let me give you
Yes, he
something
does.
else. Let me give you something
Like,
else, Bucky.
like deep into Twitter
What up?
Spaces.
Yeah. Guess what they call him, Jaden Daniels now?
What's that?
And I'm gonna go on mute after I say this. They're calling Jaden Daniels Black Jesus.
Holy shit!
Wait. Or is it the same people that was trying to say that Jameis Winston was?
No, it's the same
Oh,
people. You know, it's the same people in a certain city in Cleveland that was proclaiming a black quarterback.
ah.
Fair
You know
enough.
what,
I
bro? I'll
can't.
tell you straight up. I'm impressed with Daniels.
Chill on the Black Jesus talk, please.
Look,
Hey,
we
Sid.
got Thursday night. Listen, guys, not to interrupt, but we got Thursday night football going live on the air. The kickoff's supposed to be about 15, 20 minutes, so we're going to be real quick to end this so we can all get ready for the game. Real quick, everybody knows what the night is. It's Thursday night primetime football. Atlanta Failcons are hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This will give the legitimate number one position to either one of these teams. They'll Falcons, if they beat us, will have the same. Won't they have the same record?
They'll have two
No.
division wins.
This is week 5, so we'll be 3-2. They'll be 2-3.
No, they'll be 3-2, and
They'll be in 3-2. Yeah, so it will be okay. Well, okay, so I was right in thinking that. So
they'll
and
have
they'll
two
have the
division.
tiebreaker at this point in the
No,
season.
they had two division wins.
Who, the Falcons?
Yeah, they beat the
Yeah,
Saints
that's what I'm
last
saying.
week. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They would have the tiebreaker to make
yeah,
them the number one. If the
yeah.
Bucs win, we're clear and above the number one by record alone, and we don't need to have any of those issues. One of the key pieces that I expect the Falcons to try to work in tonight is Kyle Pitts. He's been quiet as a damn church mouse this year. Drake London has really started stepping up and trying to emerge himself as a number one wide receiver, and Kirk Cousins has been Kirk Cousins, but he got rid of the ball to players he shouldn't have in the last few weeks, which is unbeknownst of Kirk Cousins because he really don't turn over the ball. So I look for Tampa Bay to really put pressure on the quarterback and get Kirk Cousins out of his game and really do the same thing that they did last week. I expect the same style of gameplay this week, coming out red hot, giving it to Godwin and Evans off the rip because that helps spread the defense. Yes, spread the defense out a little bit for the Atlanta Falcons. Their secondary is probably their strongest portion of their defense. My keys to victory are discipline for the Buccaneers on offense and defense as far as penalties go. We cannot let Baker get sacked, and we cannot turn the ball over. On defense, we have to get pressure, and we cannot let them break tackles. We have to complete these tackles. Those are my keys to the game. I got the Buccaneers winning 33-17. No, 33-23, excuse me. 33-23.
fair enough.
What about you?
I'm gonna go 30-24.
Okay. Dad, you got to.
Matthew Judon cannot wreck this damn game. He's gonna be lining up on the right side of our fucking line.
Absolutely.
That scares the ever living shit out of me. So you need to Liam Cohen. Let's see if you're smart. I need you to employ the same game plan you had against Philly. Employ the fast, get the ball out of Baker's hands, go across the middle. I think they're going to sit in zone. I don't think they have the secondary to play man.
Mm-hmm.
So if you play the same game plan and our defense plays the same way, I hope our pass rush is back. I'm not worried about Bijan as a runner. I'm only worried about him as a pass catcher. If we can stick to those, this will be a walk in the park. 31-14.
Heard that.
Okay.
All right. Well, Sid, I want to thank you for joining the show. BucDad, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to put on the show and co-host and produce the show. Before we get out of here, a word from about our partner at GOAT TV and Matt Grisham. You can get up with him. You can get your you can get your entertainment freedom granted to you by calling out to Matt Grisham, who runs GOAT TV. It's an IPTV program that helps you cut the cord, saves you a ton of money because people not only have cable, they're also paying for a lot of these apps, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Apple TV. All those can be squashed and put to the side. You could stop paying those. You get over 9,000 live TV channels. You get over 27,000 movies. You get almost every single series for TV ever made. Not to mention, it gives you all the pay-per-views for WWE, for UFC, boxing pay-per-views. You also get all live sports, NBA, MLB, NHL, NCAA, and the NFL, which NFL Sunday ticket alone from beginning of the season till end is about $400+. For $25 for your first month using this promo code down below, ThePlunder23. You can get your first month for $25. Each month after is $45. So if you got any questions, hit me up, buck that up. Also, Matt Grisham, I'll go and make sure to tag him in the show comments if it's not already done. But outside of that, I have nothing else. Go Bucs tonight. I hope you gentlemen have a fantastic weekend. I will be going live for a quick reaction on my Derek Stevens Business Facebook page. And I will also share it to the Plunder and share it to the Plunder's crew tomorrow. I don't know. It'll be sometime in the afternoon, but I'm going to sit down and give a quick reaction to this specific game. Since it's on Thursday night, we got a little extra time. Other than that, guys, I hope y'all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you. Huh?
I want to get one gripe in after you get your outro out.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is my gripe, and I'm probably going to piss some people off. If you are anywhere using that "We Are the Crew" shit, kill yourself.
Oh man, my bad.
That crew, that word "crew," will forever be synonymous with New Orleans and Mardi Gras. And miss me with that Gasparilla bullshit, please.
No, hey, I
With it.
get where you're at with it. I didn't understand where you're going at in the beginning, but I get it, and I'm not fuck with you on it. My bad for using it, and my bad.
Bruh, don't like I'm telling all the Buck fans on Twitter, don't use that shit. Bruh, that'd be more ammo for the Aints. No, stop using it.
Touche, you're right.
Fair enough. Look, I like your lead, Sid.
Fire the fucking cannons. I'm out of here.
All right, brother. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy the game. Go Bucs. We're out of here, baby.
Fuck the Falcons.
We ain't playing water front, put that ass off. Do it like them dirty South boys doing. Watch